Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of In the Driver's Seat with Dubizzle. On this episode we'll be talking about the Lexus GX and how it's finally been updated after what feels like a century. There's also been some updates to the Ford Ranger, and unfortunately the CLS has come to the end of the road. But interestingly enough, the speed limit in Abu Dhabi, well, yeah, it's a little bit weird from what we last discussed. So let's get right into it. Fouad is here with me, as always.
Hi.
We've got a new coloured phone as well. It's not red, so it's a nice contrast here between the two. That's beside the news that we want to talk about here. First of all, Fouad, is the new Lexus, the Lexus GX, which I said at the beginning, it honestly feels like an eternity since we last saw the GX being refreshed.
It actually feels like an eternity. I don't know when was the last time they released it, 2006, 2005? It's been ages. It's been ages, guys. But the new looks, from what we've seen, it looks amazing. It looks aggressive. It's going to be still based on the Toyota Prado chassis, as always, but it looks aggressive. It looks like they done some real changes. I'm not sure about the engine, though.
I have a feeling they're going to go for a 3-litre, because we've seen that the LX600 now has the 3-litre twin-turbo from the Land Cruiser. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lexus ditch the V8 and put that inside, or put that underneath the bonnet of the GX. It only seems natural.
That's where everyone is going. That's where all the car manufacturers are going. Smaller engines, turbos, and hybrids, and
hopefully they put
you
it
think
high.
we'll see an electric version of it?
I don't know. Lexus
Because Lexus hasn't gone that way like yet. We haven't seen anything.
Toyota's been a bit behind with the electric thing, but then again, their main priority is actually not electric cars. They're more focusing on hybrids. So we might even see a hybrid version of it. That'll be cool, because you've not seen one yet.
And you know what I heard about Toyota as well? They heard there's a project they're working on, which is something that's hydrogen, which is hydrogen-powered cars.
Is that the Mirai?
Yeah, something like
So
that.
the Mirai-
And the interesting fact that they said that the residue from it is water that's drinkable. Yeah.
Would you really put your mouth at the end of an exhaust and drink fluid that comes out of an engine bay?
Look, it's my favorite thing to cars, but I don't think it goes to that extreme, you know?
Should we test the theory? I
If
don't
the
mind.
car comes, I want to
I'll
test
try
it.
it.
I want to try.
As long as we clean the exhaust, I don't see where it would be
Yeah.
bad. I mean, it'll be the water will be a darker shade.
I don't think there's going to be an exhaust, right?
That's a good point, because if it's a hydrogen powered, no, there must be some sort of.
I saw some videos like something from underneath the car, like a lock or something, you know, like you put the cup underneath it and it's drinkable water.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be drinking some fun water, I guess, at some point. But the Toyota Mirai is actually an old car. They've actually had two here before. One of them was locked up in a basement in Toyota in Festival City.
Yeah.
I did get a peek of it, but I was quickly hurried away because it's more of a test mule, because they're testing the market to see what will come out here.
True.
But hydrogen powered is quite an interesting one. I don't know if we'll see it. I think more hybrid.
I really hope we will see it, because it kind of preserves the ICE engine, you know?
It does, and it'll be a nice change. Like, you can drive your car and drink water afterwards. I'll never go thirsty ever again. I will remember to drink water this way too. There's actually sad news on the horizon, which is the Mercedes CLS is coming to an end after 2 generations. It's hard to believe that there's only been 2 generations of the CLS, and obviously this means prices of CLSs, especially the 63s and the AMGs,
go up to the roof.
Up they go.
Yeah. The car is a nice car, to be honest, but it didn't have. They're kind of binding it with the E-Class. That's what they're trying to do, because it's the same category almost, more or less. You know, it's like the Grand Coupe of BMW, but it's still very close to the E-Class. And with the new E-Class as well, with the new interior of it and the cameras and the selfies, that's what they're trying to move the people to.
The thing is with Mercedes, they have so many classes with so many subcategories.
Yeah, they do.
There's just too much, to get involved with, right? If you want to try and remember what that guy drove past you the other day or the one that's next to you, you're going to have a tough time to figure it out, because a lot of them are now starting to look the same. They're all kind of four-door coupes that are very elegant with beautiful styling and stuff like this.
And the AMG kits, all of them.
Exactly, I have my eye on a CLS 63 AMG that's shooting brake, obviously. I will not be able to afford it anytime soon, and now with this news, they're probably going to skyrocket. So
yeah, they will.
No CLS in my future. Now, the other news before we move on to the speed limit is the Ranger Wild Track. Now, we've been obsessed with the Ranger Raptor, which comes with a 2.3-litre EcoBoost engine, which is the same engine as the Mustang, and that generates what you were saying before was 400 horsepower, which when you think of it is absolutely nuts in a pickup truck. Okay, it's not SVT sized, but
but it's a good amount of power in a small truck. It's not a big truck, It's not the size. It's the car itself. It wasn't that high category. We're not talking about an F-150, It's a more affordable car.
Kind of like the mid option one.
Yeah, the mid option, exactly. And the material in it has increased as well. And the screen has gotten bigger. Like they have the 12-inch screen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Like the car is a little bit more, I think it's going to sell more. And it looks aggressive as well.
It does. But the Wild Track is the one that we're talking about here because this is the one that's recently entered the market. Now, this comes, if I'm not mistaken, with a 3-litre turbo diesel. The previous generation came with a 3.2-litre turbo diesel that had a 5-cylinder engine, not a 4. This time around, it's 4. I don't know where the 5 cylinders are going. I guess nobody wants those either anymore. No wagons, no 5 cylinders. What's going on with the world? Well, no manuals. That's the worst three things that we could get rid of.
No manuals.
Yeah.
That makes me sad, man.
No, the wagons make me sadder. Even though we changed the colour. Okay, it's ringing again. Okay. Hello? You want to verify your Dubizzle account? Okay, well, it's very easy. All you need to do is sign into Dubizzle, click on the Get Verified option, make sure you have your Emirates ID handy with you. You can use a password as well. That works. And then all you need to do is take a quick video of yourself. So it's a 5-second selfie. Make sure that the area that you're shooting in is nice and clear, and then upload it. It takes about 2 to 3 working days to get your account verified. What do you get? What do you mean what you get? You get higher ad placement, you get a blue tick on your chat, plus you get priority support like you're calling me right now on our support line. Yeah, it's that easy. Okay, I guess they went to get verified. Cool.
Very good.
Don't forget to get verified as well, by the way, because we're going to have an awesome giveaway that you can participate in right now by just verifying your account on Dubizzle. So don't forget. The interesting news from last time we filmed was the speed limit in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
Now, we have 2 very different stories that we're going to share with you.
So I was in the gym the other day and I saw one of my friends and he's like, I got fined 4 fines on the way to Abu Dhabi. And I'm like, why? It's like, because I underspeed. And I'm like, you deserve it. He's like, don't you want to know the story? And I'm like, no.
Ouch.
No, if you got 4 fines for underspeeding, you deserve it. Get out of people's way.
So where did you get these fines for? Was you commuting on the road to Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I was commuting on the road to Abu Dhabi. I think on the E311.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
So this is where my story comes into. I went down to Abu Dhabi last week for the Monster Truck show that they had.
Yeah.
Big fan, by the way. And I noticed that there is no speed limit sign for 120 on the second lane on the E11. So it appears to be that this speed limit is only on the 311 for the time being. Now, I wonder if this is a trial phase because it does seem to be some sort of confusion on the road. I particularly was confused because I wasn't sure if I should be driving 120 on the second lane, so I decided to stick to the third lane. But now you mention it, I'll wait for my phone to start ringing to see if I got fined for underspeeding as well. Because that's made me really nervous.
No, so the idea is, I think it makes sense, but they are testing it still. They're in testing phases, so it could be not on the E11. I'm not very sure, but I know that he was on the E311 and he got fined. So
interesting. I wonder then if it's on the E611. There you go, Old Emirates Road. I don't know what it's called.
The Old Emirates Road. I'm not sure as well.
I'm used to the old-fashioned names. I prefer the old names anyway. Bypass Road, Emirates Road, and Sheikh Zayed Road. E11. 311
and 611.
There you go. It's a bypass one that doesn't exist anymore, I think. That's the one. You looking to buy a new or used car in the United Arab Emirates? Well, you can wait anywhere between 1 month to 1 year, and possibly even longer for the car that you want. However, on Dubizzle, you can find the car of your dreams like that. And remember to look for the inspected cars, because those are all inspected in-house here by Dubizzle Cars. And we'll give you a nice report to tell you everything you need to know about the car that you want to buy. Now, we have one other topic now to discuss, right here at the very end, and that is Build Your Dreams.
Build Your Dreams is actually a car that was in production in 2022 in China, one of the biggest electric car productions in the world, and I think the numbers of the cars they produced are almost like or even a little bit more than Tesla. And it was weird that it didn't come to the AE yet, which is the great news that it's actually coming.
Yep.
This year with a couple of models.
They had a very nice launch event a couple of months ago, last week as well. They had a very nice opening down in City Walk as well, where they showed the Atto 3, which is a very impressive car. But the one that really gets me, though, is that one that can bounce. I don't remember what the car was called. They showed it off, but it literally could bounce up and down. It was incredible. You could even drive the car on 3 wheels.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the old...
Drive it on 3 wheels?
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
Basically, if one wheel came off, or like the DS when it was shot off, the car would continue going. And I'm not talking about hydraulic suspension like Citroen did back in the day. No, BYD, or Build Your Dreams, that's what the acronym stands for. They have built a car that not only can you bounce around in, you can also drive on 3 wheels.
That's very interesting.
Now, that's cool. Before we go, we always have a look on Dubizzle before we start the podcast to find a car that we really love. Maybe it's a car that we want to buy, maybe it's a car that we're really interested in, or maybe it's a car that you're interested in.
Spot the car.
Yes, exactly. Spotted on Dubizzle is what we're going to call this. And I have spotted something amazing. I have spotted a Yaris.
It's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
And it has 2 doors. So it's an import Yaris.
Is
it? It is.
It's very interesting.
It is none other than the epic GR Yaris with its 3-cylinder engine and manual gearbox.
That's too many cylinders.
It was the cheapest one I found as well, because they usually range from anywhere between 200 and 220,000, maybe a bit more, depending on...
Can't wrap my mind around it.
Why? You can't wrap your mind around the price
About paying
of the Yaris.
225,000 dirhams for a Yaris.
What would you get instead? A Type R? A Supra?
A Supra.
Oh,
We discussed that
damn,
last
I should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
I would go for the Yaris, to be honest, because it is something that we won't see ever again. It's a homologation special to the rally car that Toyota built,
Fair enough,
epic
fair
rally
enough.
car
Yeah,
they built.
true.
Imagine the faces of the people when you say, I drive a Yaris, but it's fast.
It's a very fast Yaris.
It is. It is an extremely fast Yaris.
Let's race your Porsche with my Yaris.
Let's do it. But first I have to get the Yaris. You already can get the Porsche. Okay, all right. I'm gonna. All right, where's Vass's number? I need to get some car loans sorted out here.
Yeah, we need to get some car loans, basically.
Yeah. So what's
I'm in for a Porsche, apparently.
What did you find for sale?
I found Porsche. Speaking of that,
Oh,
it's a little bit higher than the amount of the Yaris. Just like 7.3 million higher. So we're talking about a 7.5 million dirhams car.
a little bit. What's a little bit for you? Because that's not even like 10% of the price.
Not even.
Let me do some math here. You continue on. Let me try and figure out this out.
5% of it. Not even. Anyhow, guys, the car I found is a 918 Spider. The car is a 4.7 V8, 0.0 to 100 in less than 2.5 seconds, and 887 horsepower hybrid engine.
Yes, and it's
This is a legend. Look, I know the price is very high, and it's gonna continue going higher and higher, but it's a legend.
It certainly is one of the coolest hypercars ever built. And it's part of the Holy Trinity with the LaFerrari and the P1.
The P1.
All of them have hybrid engines. The Ferrari came with a V12.
12, and then the McLaren and the Porsche came with a V8.
Exactly. Just, for fun. They came with smaller engines. So, of course, if you're looking for a car to buy, you can check out Dubizzle.com. We have over 30,000 cars listed for sale right now, and they're readily available for you. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of In the Driver's Seat with Dubizzle. If you want to talk about anything down below that we discussed, maybe you've got some insight into some of the cars that we spoke about, maybe you know more than we do about the cars that we spoke about, drop a comment down below. And don't forget to verify your account.
Thank you very big.
Do it.